do my WWE Smackdown review on December 8th. Smackdown was a pretty good show tonight. CM Punk made Smackdown return and gives a hint that he could win the Rumble in main event WrestleMania. Now, SmackDown was a very good show. There's a lot to talk about. CM Punk calls out Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and more. This promo was a lot better than the one he had on Raw last week. Now that promo was actually cut short because of the main event on the show. But here on SmackDown, he was given a lot of time. Crowd was mega over. Crowd was behind CM Punk. Now, before I go into the details of this show, go through all the matches and all the segments, like I said, this is Mr. Blackhammer 2021. My video is sponsored by WrestleVotes, Salamoff the Sound Off, Fightful Pro Wrestling, The Wrestling Inc., The No DQ, JD from New York, and Denise Salcedo. I got more than ways to hit that like button. I'll probably do like an hour on this. Now, let me show y'all the YouTubers on this show. Alright. Come on. Oh. I forgot him. He's in real quick.
Is the biggest slam digger in the whole wide world.
Oh, what is happening?
Nigel McGuinness is happening, but spicing it up looks like with this new version of CM Punk, because remember, he said he's changed. He's changed.
On the show, and he did, and he certainly gave people something to talk about. And what I liked about the CM Punk promo on this show is it really checked off a lot of boxes that you would hope a CM Punk promo would check. He accomplished a lot of different things. First of all, he name dropped a whole bunch of different people. Not something that he did in that first promo. So he name dropped Roman Reigns. He even pointed out the fact that he was a Paul Heyman guy long before Roman Reigns. He dropped Cody Rhodes. He dropped Kevin Owens, right? Someone who is not very fond. Actually, he's talked about the fact that he's not very fond of CM. The history of it goes back to their days in the Ring of Honor videos. So you mentioned Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins as well, although without actually naming, he didn't specifically name Seth Rollins, but
Yep.
He's talking about. Basically, what he did was he subtweeted.
Yeah. And Caesar planted for WrestleMania.
But he also gave us a reason to tune into Raw on Monday. This is where it's going to be very advantageous to have somebody like a CM Punk back on your roster. Because people who want to see him, people who want to hear what he has to say, you can use him in a way that gets people to tune in week to week to watch your show. There's some sort of cliffhanger. There's some sort of announcement that he's going to make. You can use that to get people to tune into the show the following week. He did that. He gave everybody a reason to tune into Raw next Monday. Because we already knew, based on what Adam Pearce told Seth Rollins on Monday, that Punk was being invited to Raw. What he told us here on the show, point blank, not only is he going to be on Raw this coming Monday night, he's going to make his decision on which brand he is going to sign with. Because, again, in storyline right now, he is the most sought after free agent in all of WWE. Is he going to go to Raw? Is he going to go to Smackdown? He even threw NXT in there. I mean, that's it. But now he's got a phone call set up with Shawn Michaels this weekend.
He's going to knock on the door of the bloodline, but he decides not to. And then he ends up running into Kevin Owens in the hallway.
Now, oh wait, hold on. Cut the promo in the career. Now, this is what we saw in WWE. Here we saw on Smackdown, Cody Rhodes welcomes CM Punk back to WWE. Asuka gets help from Bayley to win over Charlotte. Damage Control lead Bayley backstage again. We're still teasing the sensing with Damage Control and Bayley. There's the CM Punk promo. There's a tribute to the truth. They showed John Cena highlight the incredible sacrifice of the U.S. Cody Rhodes introducing the United States Army drill team. That's all Cody was there for, to advertise tribute to the truth. He was only there for this small segment. Bobby Lashley defended Karen Cross, to advance to the U.S. title tournament. They're the Medal of Honor. We had Dragon Lee versus Escobar again. Pretty good match. The match ended pretty quick. Santos Escobar advanced, so he'll face Bobby Lashley next week. We got Randy Orton won, Nick Aldis. He could argue him again. Alright. Alright.
There's also Nick Aldis gave him his contract for Smackdown to see if he's going to sign it. And he's going to look over it. The signing's not until next week, and that's until he decides which brand he's going to sign on, if it's going to be Raw or if it's going to be Smackdown. But just the fact that we got Cody Rhodes and CM Punk backstage, it was pretty freaking cool. So let's see. We got CM Punk Cody, we got CM Punk Kevin Owens, and then we also got CM Punk Randy Orton and LA Knight. And as we know, Randy Orton and LA Knight teamed up together today in the main event, and CM Punk just approached them and said, "Okay." So that was that. All right. I think I got everything now at this point. I think I got all the CM Punk talk out of the table. I think I got it out there. If I forgot, guys, please remind me here. There was kind of a bit to get into. You have no idea. So first of all, I prefer, Mondays is a little bit easier for me, guys, because even though it's a 3-hour show, I'm able to watch on DirecTV. I'm able to stream on DirecTV Monday Night Raw. So I can pause, I can rewind, I can
Come back now. 10 years away. Now of all times, this time of the year, it's to go to the Royal Rumble. It's to win the Rumble, to go to WrestleMania, challenge for the heavyweight. Finally got it. Got the mission statement from CM Punk on the show. Corrected the wrong of that first promo on night one. Even took a dig at the fact that tonight his time wasn't being cut, which may have been part of the problem, frankly. I don't know how long that promo on Monday last week was, but maybe some of these things would have been addressed had his time not gotten cut at the end of the show. But he also, in this promo, did something else, which will be the one thing I'm sure that gets most people talking, above and beyond anything else. He took a not so subtle but very clever dig at the Young Bucks in this promo, and how inappropriate it was. And to think about.
and talked about that part. Guys, oh my God, this is like going to Hometown Buffet. Man, this is like going to Hometown Buffet and like literally serving yourself pizza, chicken, mashies, macaroni and cheese, everything. We haven't even touched on CM Punk Stone Cold because that could also be a possibility for WrestleMania. I'm stressed out. All right, so CM Punk Stone Cold. Obviously, that's the dream match. That's like the dream match for CM Punk, right? We've been wanting to see this. It didn't feel like it was going to happen for the longest time. And now all of a sudden, it could actually happen. So with that being said, there was a report that came out by Fightful, and it was very shortly after CM Punk came back to WWE. And they had said that this had been talked about. Like the CM Punk Stone Cold match was talked about. Like there were conversations being had about this. And so for that reason, I do think there is, God I know that because Stone Cold's busy, he's doing a bunch of other things, and obviously there comes a lot that when you're not a full time in ring wrestler anymore, there's a little bit more preparation that has to be done, right? And seeing it's crazy how like we got Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38, and it was this thing of like it's crazy how that was a match that like we didn't like expect for it to happen, and it wasn't even like the biggest news story that year. And it was such a fun match. It was something that while I was watching it, I was making sure to like treasure it because I wasn't really expecting to see Stone Cold have another match like later on. But now all of a sudden there is that possibility that this can happen, and I really, really hope it does because there are so many dream matches, guys, throughout pro wrestling that we're just never going to get. Like, there's matches that we've wanted to get, and we just can't, right? Because people retired, people passed away, people, life happens. You just don't get that stuff anymore. And so, dream match that there's still a possibility. So, when you do have matches like that are still left on the table, and there's a chance that it can happen, you kind of want it a little bit more. So, this is definitely something I too would love to see. Man, I just don't know what we're going to get. All right. JM Malagrito, thank you so much for the super chat. He says CM Punk wins elimination chamber. Gunther for the Rumble. Cody gets money in the bank. This one's a little different because on any other day, if you told me, Denise, do you want Gunther to win the Rumble? I'd be like, F yeah, because you've heard me say this before. He is the best champion in the WWE right now. Point blank, love Roman, love Seth, but Gunther is just killing it, man, with all of his defenses of the Intercontinental Championship. And so, of course, I'd love to see him win the Rumble, but I just don't think that's going to happen right now because the story is it's just going other places. So I don't see this happening for Gunther, but I do think there is another match that I would be so intrigued to see. And he doesn't need to win the Rumble for this to happen. And that is Gunther Brock Lesnar. If we were to get that match, oh boy, I would be so freaking happy, man. Like, you don't even know. I feel, I'll be real with you guys. If they announce one day, they make it happen and they say, Gunther versus Brock Lesnar is happening, right? Whatever pay per view, I don't care. I would not believe it. Even if they showed me the graphic in my face, I would still not believe it because Gunther Brock Lesnar, and I know we got the tease for it. But Gunther Brock Lesnar is a match that I would love to see so much. I would not believe it until these two guys were staring at each other across the ring and the bell had rung. I still even won't believe it when the entrances happen. I won't believe it until the bell rings and they're staring off at each other. That is the moment that I will believe it because I really want that match, guys. I really want that match. Chris Ledeck says, if you're going to the Rumble or Mania, I hope to meet up at one of those events. Maybe they have an ATM at the merchandise area. See what I did there? I will definitely be at the Royal Rumble. I will definitely be at WrestleMania, guys. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those things. And hopefully I finally get to meet you, Chris. Julian Bravo sends in a super chat saying, it will be Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. No, I mean, they've done that match so many times. I've lost count of how many times we got Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. And granted, all of those matches were great. They really were truly great. But I feel like we've at least seen it like 4 times, maybe 5, 3, 4, 5, somewhere around there. We've seen this. Thank you so much, Julian. Bravo for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, guys, let's keep the conversation going. We still got so much to get into. All right, so I do want to talk about LA Knight, Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa, and Jey Uso. So that was the main event that we got here tonight. And the big thing to take away from this is that it looks like we are going to get into a Randy Orton, LA Knight program. So they planted quite a few seeds for this here tonight. So first of all, in a backstage segment, Randy Orton kind of shaded LA Knight, man. He kind of shaded him. And he did so by going up to Nick Aldis and saying, like, so I heard we're teaming tonight, like me and LA Knight. I don't want to team with this guy. I don't even know him. I haven't even heard of LA Knight, who he was until last week. I was dumbfounded, guys, when Randy Orton said, he had not heard of LA Knight since as of last week. I was like, bro, what? he was I was stunned. It was hilarious. And so the other part that was really funny too was Randy Orton RKO'd Nick Aldis. He was fined for that. And he gives the check with the fine, right? And Nick is like, man, there's 100K here. You were only supposed to give me 50,000. He goes, that's for next time. So how many of you here have seen How I Met Your Mother? Do you guys remember the slap?
Beating Dragon back to back nights. So very good chance that the ring to scout his new opponent. He didn't sit, he stood in front of the announcements and he watched the following match. Lee sent Escobar to the floor early and he followed with a suicide dive. Lee climbed the ropes. Escobar, though, pushed him off to try to slow things down.
I'm going to the venue. You guys are going to be there. And when I get there, you guys know the deal. What the fuck are you guys drinking?
Escobar lifted Lee for the Phantom Driver, but he turned it into a
on the horizon. That was the first seed that was planted. The second seed was planted during the match. So during this match, it was a really fun one too, by the way. There was a moment where, so let me tell you guys what happened for the finish. Randy was about to hit the RKO on Jimmy, but Solo attacked him from behind. And as he's attacking him, LA Knight comes in and has Randy's back, and he attacks Solo Sikoa. He stops Solo Sikoa from hitting Randy with the Samoan spike. So then LA Knight was going to go do his BFT, but instead Randy Orton intercepts that and hits his RKO, and so he wins the match for his team. And Randy's like, you know, being Randy. And LA Knight looked really bothered by this. Like they shook hands, right? But LA Knight kind of looked a little irritated that he was about to have this match won, and Randy just came in, hit his RKO, and won the match for the team. And even afterwards, like the closing image of the show was Randy doing his thing, and LA Knight is just staring at him, you know, just staring at him. He got under his skin. So I like this. This is a good program, an unexpected program for LA Knight, because of course we didn't know Randy was going to go to SmackDown. Now he's there. And these are two guys, by the way, that are also both coming for Roman Reigns. So there's that too. God, there's a lot. So that was really the big takeaway from this whole thing here, is that's happening. The seeds are being planted. They surely are. Alrighty. Let's get into the U.S. tournament. So we got two first round matches today. It was Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar, Bobby Lashley versus Karrion Kross. Very straightforward. The people you thought were going to win won. Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee had a fun match. My favorite part was when Dragon Lee tried hitting Santos Escobar with a Hurricanrana, but Santos then just power bombs him on the ring apron. And so Santos wins with Phantom Driver. Predicted. That was what we predicted was going to happen. Cool. So he's going to go on to face the winner of Bobby Lashley, Karrion Kross. As predicted too, Bobby Lashley wins this match. But the thing to talk about here, so we are for round 2, we are going to see Santos Escobar versus Bobby Lashley. But the thing to talk about here, though, is that we finally saw Karrion Kross. Now, Karrion Kross for the last couple of months has been doing dark matches on SmackDown. Did like 2 in the last couple of months, but he's primarily been doing house shows. And we have not seen Karrion Kross wrestle on SmackDown since August 11th. Now, that may not seem like too long ago to some of you guys, but let me put this in perspective. That was 119 days ago. 119 days ago. You want to know what hadn't happened yet? AEW All In hadn't happened. CM Punk was still in AEW. think about this, guys. Um, think about like everything that happened during this time since the last time we saw Karrion Kross wrestle on SmackDown. Now, the only thing that we saw that was new was he grew out his hair. He's got a little ponytail going. That's about it, guys. That's about it. Lashley hits a spear, wins the match. And we are going to be getting sorry guys, I forgot the matches. Yeah, here we go. So next week for SmackDown, Roman Reigns returns, and the next first round matches is going to be the NXT superstar that Shawn Michaels picks. We still don't know who that's going to be, and he's going to face Grayson Waller, and then Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory. So I'm expecting it to be Kevin Owens versus, I don't know if the NXT guy is going to win. I think it's going to be Grayson Waller. So I'm expecting Grayson Waller versus Kevin Owens, and then possibly Kevin Owens versus either Bobby Lashley or Santos Escobar. I'm not too sure which direction they're going to go in. I kind of think Bobby Lashley needs this a little bit more. So I'm expecting to see Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens in the finals of this tournament. I don't know. I think that's the direction they may end up going, with Kevin Owens winning the entire thing, as I had mentioned last week when this whole thing was first announced. So that's where we're at in regards to the tournament. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna go ahead and we got two more things to talk about. But before we do, I want to thank you guys all so much.
Drew Johnson with a
I didn't want him to burn AEW to the ground. Knowing WWE how petty they are, I expected them to have him go out there and say something like that, but we all know that he can't legally do that. Tony Khan and the Bucks have this man NDA'd out the fucking asshole.
Yeah.
People that stood with my stance, my opinion on the promo. You know, I don't know what you...
Right before his match, I thought was really nice. Like, it just seemed a little bit more authentic and...
Sleep every night. Miracle Sheets are the
follows up Drew's 50 bomb with a 2.
Don't give a shit about his past mistakes. I don't care. I don't care about what Punk said. I don't care what he did or where he said it or whatever the fuck he said about the comp. I don't care. I don't care. He has to live with that. He has to fucking be the one. His wife needs to listen to him complain. Nobody cares. But didn't I say that we needed the CM Punk that's gonna fucking throw the wrench into the gears and fuck shit up? Sounds like CM Punk was in earshot of what I had to say last week. I won't be surprised. That clip on Twitter did almost 300,000 views.
things to talk about is we also saw Cody Rhodes. He came out and did a we already talked about the Cody Rhodes CM Punk confrontation, but Cody Rhodes was also out there for a tribute to the troops segment. As you guys recall, this was a tribute to the show. Very nice. They do it every single year. And he comes out there and this was very, very like this, there was no like storyline or anything like this. It was just him coming out and being respectful and thanking everybody. He tossed to a video of John Cena talking about tribute to the troops, sharing moments. It was very nice. And then afterwards they had the U.S. Army drill team come out and do like a little routine. That was very cool. I love seeing that because every single time I was like, oh my God, he's gonna drop it, he's gonna drop it. Didn't drop it. Obviously he didn't drop it. People are experts, right? But it was very cool to see all of that. So that was the other thing that we got with Cody Rhodes today on Smackdown. So that was nice, very nice. And we got like little videos like Montez Ford, Bobby Lashley kind of talking about, you know, their military experience and stuff like that. I thought that was pretty cool. So as always, they do a really great job with these tribute to the troops show.
I didn't know. It's crazy how I didn't know that Montez Ford was in the military. I knew Lashley was, but I didn't know Montez Ford was. He was in the Marines. That's pretty good.
We got Charlotte versus Asuka. Felt like it felt a little brief. But we did have
Knight, Orton. He didn't really call out LA Knight, but he mentioned LA Knight, mentioned Randy Orton, called out all the bloodline, told Roman Reigns, hey, bro, listen, I'm the OG. I'm the OG Paul Heyman guy, man. He was my wise man before he was your wise man. He didn't mention Rollins, but I guess that's the whole point. He doesn't want to acknowledge Seth Rollins, even though everybody knows that Rollins has been running his mouth about CM Punk. He even called out the fact that his time got caught last week. Thanks, Bruce. Thanks, Bruce. Gotta love it. We're going to go over what he said tonight. And when I tell you that was basically all that was on SmackDown tonight. Oh, JD's not American, man. What the fuck you talking about? I'm not. I don't give a shit. You advertise this.
But I like what they're doing though with Damage Control and Bailey. I like the mean bit.
Nothing. Nothing. U.S. title tournament that hasn't really gotten started off on the right foot. Charlotte Flair may be out for the entire year with an injury. Possible torn ACL from Charlotte Flair. But knowing how quick Charlotte updates her firmware, she'll be back in 3 months. We don't know. And we're going to go over the CM Punk thing, like I said tonight, guys. Thank you so very much for joining me here on Off the Scripts. Do I have? Yes, I do.
That was Friday Night Smackdown, December 8th. I know primarily most of the show was about CM Punk, but that was really, truly the biggest highlight of it all. If you watch the show on replay or in audio, you can either leave a comment or tweet me, share your thoughts, what you guys thought about it, how you guys feel, what you think is going to be the main events for WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. And there's kind of into these next couple of months are going to be very exciting. At least I think so. This is probably the most excited I've been recently about the WWE product. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this journey to WrestleMania season is going to look like. Other than that, guys, I will be back here on what day? On Saturday. Oh, wait, that's tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow to talk about NXT Deadline, and that's going to be fun. You guys know I cover NXT on a weekly basis, so for those of you who like to watch NXT, tomorrow should be a good show because we're going to have both the men's and the women's Iron Survivor Challenge matches. I have no idea what's going to happen, so that's going to be a good time. So make sure you guys tune in for that NXT Deadline post show tomorrow. Until next time, thank you guys so very much. And if you haven't already, please do not forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Let me know what you guys thought. And I do read the reviews here on the channel if you guys leave them. The link is in the description box below, and the best way to leave them is through the Apple Podcast app. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much. Catch you guys all on the next one. Bye, everyone.
All right.
This match here was done there. Lashley went for the hurt lock early, but Cross fought out of it.
The Media Scrum. Jason Barker, thank you so very much for all of your support. And
Oh, we do have this one over here.
Don't you do that?
He doesn't. Again, so and Nick, I told you this story a million times, but I got back into wrestling. I'm loving AEW, and I keep seeing these clips on social media of Cornette just going off, and I'm like,
It looks like that's it.
it's still Roman comes back.
And I did love before Punk asked KO for directions, he was outside the Bloodline office looking at it wistfully. It was like those late nights where you're looking at your phone thinking about texting your ex. Like, do I knock?
unfortunately, the bag has made sense, but if you're gonna complain about making a bag and not doing anything, sucks to be you. But I mean, like,
Right back. He hit the spear and he pinned him to advance to round number 2 in the United States Championship Tournament. He'll face Santos Escobar. The Street Profits came out on stage after the match was over. Montez Ford, another veteran, they had a little video package, a little insert with him talking about his past, and they celebrated with Lashley after the match was over. So after 4 months away, Karrion Kross makes his grand return to television to lose again in his return back, and did so in under 5 minutes. And look, not that the outcome was ever in doubt, let's be real, right? I think even Karrion Kross's friends and family watching this match knew exactly what the outcome of this match was going to be. I don't know what their plans are for Karrion Kross. Just by watching the show, I could tell that they don't have any plans for Karrion Kross. It feels like every few months, there's some sort of report that says that Karrion Kross is in line for a push. Karrion Kross is, some new creative idea in the pipeline for Karrion Kross, and then nothing ever happens. And we no longer have the excuse that, well, he's not a Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon doesn't like him. It must be Vince, right? Because Triple H used him in a top spot when he was in NXT. Well, Vince McMahon, creative, is out of the picture right now. And what we are seeing is Triple H's WWE. We are watching on television is Triple H's vision, creative, where he wants this product to be. So if Triple H wanted to do something meaningful with Karrion Kross, he would do something meaningful with Karrion Kross. It's just not happening. So I honestly don't know where he goes from here. I don't know. If I were him, it feels like he's someone that if they were to have another round of cuts, post WrestleMania cuts, he would be on the bubble. I'd be worried about it because you never want to be in a position where you're not being used. When you are being used, it's strictly to put other people over. Because if you're not locked into some kind of a story or faction or something meaningful on TV, I would be constantly just fearing that my job is in jeopardy. And he has to be just in this perpetual state of like, and the guy's got personality, and the guy, I think he could be, a babyface even that people can get behind. But this dark character and the dark vignettes and everything, while they're well produced, it's not working. And part of it is that the company is not getting behind it, but it's just not working. So why keep going with something that's not working? Why not try something different? Why not try letting him be himself and actually talk like a normal person? And then come up with some idea for him, but as himself. What harm is there in doing that, right? What do you have to lose? Because right now, his only role is to be on the show occasionally and just put other people. That's not a good long-term position for him. Now, you got Endeavor running the show, and who knows? They can cut a whole bunch of people whenever they want to, right? They just cut a whole bunch of people this past week, mostly executives. They cut Kenzie Mitchell from NXT.
The great.
Conference call, he goes, I have no idea. Don't ask me. Surprise me like it surprised everybody else. Not a position that you want to be if you're carrying. In the back, Asuka was shown getting ready for her match later with Charlotte Flair. When Bayley showed up and apologized for last week.
X, Instagram, TikTok, and
go out there all on her own and take out Charlotte Flair. Dakota Kai spoke and said that, look, everybody else, all the other members of Damage Control, we're going to be out there with Asuka tonight. And you don't have to. And she was saying it in a way like, look, just
They did show the tag team match. I could show the news and rumors. Now, let me show this. These are the news and rumors, by the way. I think this was. Oh wait, that was AEW. First time ever. Adam Copeland and Kristen Cage one match AEW Dynamite. That was a very good match. I think I already saw this. CM Punk win the one with main event WrestleMania. Everything one with AEW wrestling. Another one back in Hunter. That's what they think that happened. I probably should look at this news. These are the news and rumors. I think I'll probably go to. I think I'll go to them now.
There was a recent report about negativity.
Andrade could find himself back in WWE as rumors of a contract expiring are going around. And why is it probably it's best for him to leave AEW and could be done? And what could be done to create a making fit on WWE? Also, Bryan Danielson reportedly handled out social media fine to talent who complained online. A Bryan Danielson injury update. Kyle O'Reilly headed back to AEW TV. An update on the return of Braun Strowman. Alright. Alright.
Now, Meltzer talked about.
So they talk about the truth about AEW declining fan interest and how to revitalize their TV. AEW lost major steam and interest from wrestling fans due to variety or reasons. Now this one, I think I already saw this one. Yes, it looks like CM Punk could win the Rumble. How to book 2024 World Rumble going into WrestleMania 40. What are the best roles? CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, or Gunther? Oh wait.
I see a lot of people make.
Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, it says Seth Rollins. Now that's the AEW. I did not do an AEW. I haven't been doing AEW shows. I may do one next week. I don't know when, but hopefully I do. I just haven't had the time. But for the first time ever in the AEW, we got Adam Copeland, aka Ed, versus Kristen Cage for the AEW TNT champion. And then we had week 3 of the AEW Confidential Classic. We also had NJF team with Samoa Joe against the Devil's Heyman. Yeah. I don't think I talked about this yet. Come on. Now, these are also the other news and rumors. AEW canceling the cast break after reports of VP of post-production was fired on Monday night. Reports of widespread negativity to the company hit the community due to low ticket sales and lack of interest in the overall product. When it's not enough, going to be enough. And when will the problem finally be addressed with the AEW product and their leadership? Also, we got rumors of CM Punk and Stone Cold for WrestleMania are heating up with CM Punk to return. How likely is the match to happen at WrestleMania? It won't. I know it won't. And is it the best use of Punk in Philadelphia? Also, Jeff Hardy feels like a ghost in AEW. Nick Khan gets turned down by Warner Media for White to WWE Raw. And also, WWE planning a major CM Punk versus Roman Reigns feud in 2024. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot AEW Rampage was on, but I have to know I'm watching that.
Brits. Smackdown started off with Michael Cole saying it was the most important show that they will do all year. I guess that's the narrative that they were going with tonight. No, it was not the most important show they will do all year. He introduced JBL. JBL, man, one-time appearance. It's nothing to get bent out of shape over. But at least Kevin Patrick can sit back and say to himself, you know what? At least I wasn't the worst commentator tonight on SmackDown Friday. JBL is off. JBL is off. It's a one-time thing. He's back. He's big on the troops. So be it. Nobody's going to fucking lose sleep over it. So we don't have to hear that terrible, terrible voice on a weekly basis. It makes me appreciate Corey Graves even more so when he's not there. Santos Escobar. He made his entrance first. We were getting Escobar versus Dragon Lee. First match of this new United States Championship tournament. To find out who wrestles Logan Paul, I'm presuming, at the Royal Rumble. Santos made his entrance first. And Dragon Lee then made his entrance. Dragon Lee, I want you guys to realize that Dragon Lee is going to be pushed. He's already being pushed to the moon, but he's going to be pushed even further to the moon. Triple H loves him. WWE management loves him. And they strapped the rocket pack to him already, as you guys have seen over the last few weeks. Now, the thing with Dragon Lee is, and I'll get to why this match fell flat in a bit, but Dragon Lee is a very busy man this week. A very busy man. Not only is he wrestling for an opportunity to wrestle Logan Paul for the United States Championship, he is wrestling Dominic Mysterio in Bridgeport, Connecticut tomorrow night. NXT Deadline for the North American Championship. He's wrestling Dominic Mysterio on the NXT PLE tomorrow night. That's a huge reason why the match felt so rushed and so flat tonight. I'll get to that in a little bit. Santos and Dragon Lee, this was a rematch from the Survivor Series, and it went 9 minutes. It basically was the same match. They went the same amount of time that they were given at Survivor Series in Chicago. Now, this crowd was hot. This was a hot crowd tonight, and they did their thing tonight, no doubt about it. They were hot for this match, but again, just like the Survivor Series, I expected a little bit more from both Santos Escobar and Dragon Lee. I was very disappointed with the fact that WWE did not give these guys any more time to sell themselves in front of this hot crowd tonight for an opportunity to advance into the second round of this makeshift, out of left field United States Championship tournament. This would have been the perfect situation, the perfect ideal setting for these guys to get over and fix whatever they did not do in Chicago. It was a fun match. It was a fun match, but I always am going to expect more because Santos is great. Lee is great. I know these guys can go in there and absolutely fucking cook. And they were not given any more time on top of what they were given at Survivor Series to go out there and cook. That's all I'm saying. Now, this is match number 2, and I'm sure what is going to be a string of matches. These guys have a fight forever mentality. It seems like they're going to be destined to be in the ring together several more times after. But I can't really sit here and tell you that I wasn't disappointed. I was disappointed in it. I'm sure you guys felt the same way. So, we're going to pick it up here after the break. Escobar ran at Lee. Lee countered and put Escobar on the apron. Lee attempted to follow up with what he was planning to do here, but Escobar caught Lee and hit a powerbomb, and we go to a commercial break. So we go to commercial break. We're back. Dragon Lee fired up. He landed some stiff punches on Escobar. Dragon Lee followed those punches up with more strikes, some kicks. Escobar was upside down in the corner on his head. Lee hit a running drop kick for a 2 count. Escobar eventually got in a big super kick. He goes for recovery, gets a very close near fall. Dragon Lee kicks out at it 2. Escobar lifted Lee for his finisher, a phantom driver, but it ultimately turned into a sit-out powerbomb for Lee for a good, close, near fall. Dragon Lee landed a running knee that took Escobar to the outside with the situation now spilling to the outside. Escobar goes back into the ring. Lee quickly goes up top. Escobar cut Lee off and hit a phantom driver out of nowhere for a 1, 2, 3, and Santos Escobar goes on to the second round of this United States Championship tournament and beats Dragon Lee for a second time. So Escobar gets 2 victories in just a few weeks over Dragon Lee, and now he has a date next week with either Bobby Lashley or Karrion Kross in the second round. Smash was fine, but just like Survivor Series, it never managed to be taken into the next gear, man. They never really got going. It's almost as if they were just casually driving down the highway and they never shifted into the next gear. They basically did the speed limit in the right lane, and they didn't want to get risque. They didn't want to do anything exciting. When are we going to get the Dragon Lee Santos Escobar match that we know these guys are capable of? It's kind of shitty, man. It just felt like the match was there. Now, last week I said with the announcement of this tournament, Dragon Lee and Kevin Owens were probably the 2 guys who were odds-on favorites to win this tournament. There's nobody else in this tournament that's going to win the tournament. It's either Kevin Owens or Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee for reasons because Rey Mysterio is the greatest luchador of all time. Logan Paul has touted and exclaimed that he beat Rey Mysterio, the greatest luchador of all time. What better match for them to do than take Dragon Lee, who's a protege of Rey Mysterio, and put him in the ring with Logan Paul? Kind of makes sense. Kevin Owens just makes sense because from a creative standpoint, Kevin Owens doesn't really have anything to do on Friday nights. He's not going to wrestle Roman Reigns. He's not going for a world championship. They split him from Sami Zayn. He's on Smackdown all by himself. He's been feuding with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Next week, he's got Austin Theory in a first-round match. I don't really see what Kevin Owens creatively is doing outside this tournament, so that makes him just by default an odds-on favorite to win the tournament. And Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens is a great undercard match for the Royal Rumble. I think their styles would gel very well. The promo work should be very good. And this could be a nice little appetizer for Logan Paul before he moves on to WrestleMania and wrestles LA Knight for the United States Championship. Ultimately, LA Knight beats Logan Paul at WrestleMania. But I thought it was going to be Dragon Lee or Kevin Owens. Now, clearly, Dragon Lee lost tonight, so it can't be him. And what happened this past week on NXT TV is Wes Lee, who was supposed to wrestle and win back the NXT North American Championship from Dominic Mysterio, he is going to be out with a big major injury. And he's not wrestling Dominic on Saturday night at NXT Deadline. That's where they put Dragon Lee. They put Dragon Lee in his place. They replaced one Lee with another Lee. It's not Wes Lee. It's now Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee's wrestling Dominic Mysterio next NXT pay-per-view, which is Saturday.
Yeah.
If Dragon Lee was an odds-on favorite to win the United States Championship, they had to have him lose here because now with the plans of Wes Lee, who was supposed to win the championship, those went out the window. So in slides Dragon Lee, which I'm assuming Dragon Lee's going to be the one to beat Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. Dominic Mysterio has done absolutely nothing with that championship. What has he done with the championship? All I hear is, oh, he's made the title prestigious, man. No, he hasn't. What has he done with the championship? He basically carries it around like a fucking prop. Get it on somebody that's going to do something with it. You want fucking NXT talent holding, titles like that are actually going to do something with it. Dominic Mysterio was only using this championship to facilitate an NXT TV deal with the CW network. Dominic's on the show. That means Rhea Ripley's got to be there. Rhea Ripley's got to be there. That means the whole fucking Judgment Day has to be there. We're well beyond that now. They got their TV deal. They don't need to desperately use main roster talent anymore. Dragon Lee's a main roster talent. Just take it off of them. They had nobody else lined up. They had a plan B, but it wasn't really a good plan B because you're only taking another main roster talent and having another main roster talent beat the current main roster talent who's holding the North American Championship when it should have been Wesley, but Wesley's injured. Kind of sucks, man. Wesley's fucking great.
Exactly.
Wesley's great. I wish him nothing but the best, man. Quick, speedy, and healthy recovery.
Yeah.
Don't know what happened to him. Don't know where he got hurt. Apparently it's a back injury. That's a devastating injury, man. I don't know how long he's going to be out. But that title was going to be back on NXT. And now, because of their shoddy plan B, now it's got to go to another main roster talent in Dragon Lee. But I think Dragon Lee's going to do better with it than Dominic Mysterio is going to do with it.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Now, Dragon Lee deserved to win it. I think it's time for him to get a title one. Wesley, Wesley, hopefully he comes back pretty soon. I think Wesley should move on to the NXT title when he comes back from injury. Dominic, I don't know what he does. Can we keep Dominic and Judgment Day on Monday Night Raw? And NXT let someone else be built up with the North American title? Who knows? I mean, who knows? Maybe Dominic might go after the NXT title. I don't know. Instead of the North American title, it could be the NXT title. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Tomorrow is an NXT deadline. I think those are the two big matches. Is the North American champion and the NXT title. Those are the only two big matches that they really advertise on the trailer.
He's got their back against the wall. Now Santos cannot lose. Santos is hot. And costs him the match. I don't see what they're going to do next week. Bobby Lashley he's getting hot again. He's babyface all over again. The fans are just taking to Bobby Lashley, man, and whatever he's got going on. I don't know what exactly is going on, but WWE has positioned Bobby Lashley and this new group of the Street Profits as heels, and the crowd is like, whoa, yo, listen, Triple H, we don't want to boo these guys. We do not want to boo these guys. Crowd is just overwhelmingly supportive of Bobby Lashley the last few weeks. I don't know where it's coming from, but it was like that early in their stages of this group. WWE tried to force you to boo them. Nobody wants to boo them. They didn't want to boo the Hurt Business, and they don't want to boo this new version of the Hurt Business. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Santos can't lose. Bobby Lashley can't lose. He's hot. Santos is hot. Maybe Ray comes back and costs Santos the match. There's got to be some sort of fuck finish where you have to protect Santos. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. But we'll get into that match in a little bit because that wasn't up next. Dominic was actually in the ring, who stood over Lee, held up the North American Championship, and Dominic was booed out of the ring. So that match is taking place tomorrow. Again, I will let you guys know if I'm covering NXT Deadline tomorrow night on the channel. So look forward to my social media to see what I actually plan on doing tomorrow. Nick Aldis, he was backstage with Randy Orton. Randy Orton last week gave Nick Aldis, or if you looked on some of the websites, Nick Aldridge. I don't know who put Nick Aldridge. I think it might have been USA Network. Don't really know. Nick Aldis He laid him out with an RKO. Randy Orton approached Nick Aldis and handed Nick Aldis a check. I'm assuming he was fined for his behavior last week. Orton asked why he was in a tag team match tonight. Nick Aldis said that LA Knight made the save for him last week. Orton then reiterated, I didn't need anybody to save me, and I don't even know who LA Knight is. I didn't know who he was before last week. Orton questioned whether or not he could trust LA Knight. Quite the thing to say if you're the Viper, when nobody actually trusts Randy Orton. He's unhinged. Aldis said that both Orton and LA Knight want the bloodline, so this is their chance. Aldis said he and the fans want to see this match bad. I don't know who asked for this match, but it certainly wasn't me. Aldis looked at the check. He said that he fined Randy Orton only $50,000. But the check was actually for $100,000. Orton said the extra was for next time. I don't know what they're doing with Randy Orton going into WrestleMania season. I don't want to jump the gun here. I don't want to make assumptions or presumptions. I don't want to incorrectly give you guys something that sounds ridiculous. But I mentioned it last week. I'm going to reiterate it again here this week. They seemingly are playing up, maybe, seemingly playing up that Randy Orton is unhinged and that he's got another RKO coming to Nick Aldis. What do you do with Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Does Randy Orton have a clear path to WrestleMania? I don't really see any clear path right now, and we're going into the second week of December. What does Randy Orton do at WrestleMania? Now, a lot of people were like, oh, just put him in a match against Solo Sikoa.
What?
So, you guys want him to actually go backwards in the feud with Roman. Don't really understand that. He beat Solo and Jimmy tonight. The only thing left to do is go and beat Roman. More than likely, he's getting a match with Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. Seemingly, it will be Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. After he loses to Roman Reigns, we may get a second match out of it at the Elimination Chamber. Maybe. Depending on how they book it. But when he doesn't win the World Championship, what do you actually do with Randy Orton at WrestleMania? Put him against Solo. So you want him to lose to Roman, and then you want him to go beat Solo Sikoa as some sort of fucking consolation prize. If he doesn't beat Roman, what good is beating Solo Sikoa gonna do? He's already beaten Solo tonight. He's beaten both Jimmy and Solo. Sounds like a waste of Randy Orton at WrestleMania to me. You could do a lot of things with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. You could put him against Bobby Lashley. You could put him against AJ Styles. You could put him in the ring against Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is the commissioner or the GM of Smackdown. Kevin Owens is another one. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. I could see that. We could do some solid non-title undercard matches at WrestleMania. We don't get enough of those. Everything's got to be a championship match. As long as they build a proper story to it, fine. But Randy Orton needs a big match at WrestleMania. Could be Nick Aldis versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania. He's already teased that he's got another RKO waiting for him. I don't know. And I said when Nick Aldis was announced as the GM that it probably wasn't going to last long. This was probably going to be his introductory to the WWE main roster. Get the fans to know him, get him familiar with who he is, get him familiar with the face. And then Nick Aldis is good enough on WWE TV where everybody knows who he is and what he's capable of and how he speaks, what he looks like. And then he drops the fucking hammer down on Randy Orton. That could be his way into being a full-time performer on SmackDown. Why I say that is because it's coming up about the time coming up about that time where William Regal. Now, I don't know what happened with William Regal and AEW. Apparently, there was a non-compete clause because Tony Khan let William Regal out of his contract early to go back to WWE to go be with his son who works on NXT. His name is Charlie Dempsey. We could realistically see William Regal come up about that time where his non-compete clause with AEW.
At all.
Again, I'm very curious to see what reaction Cody gets in that Royal Rumble. All right, he's not getting booed now or anything like that, but now they've made it official. Punk is going to win not win, but he's going to be in the Royal Rumble. He wants to win the Royal Rumble. So does Cody. Who are the fans going to get behind? What if it comes down to Cody and Punk? If it comes down to Cody Rhodes and CM Punk in the Royal Rumble match, who do you think the fans are going to get behind the most? I think it would be CM Punk. Because I don't think people want to see Cody win 2 years in a row. Nothing against Cody, but I think they would put their support behind CM Punk, and that's a risk. But I like the fact that they have both now staked their claim for the Rumble match, because it makes it that much more interesting. Now, after a commercial break, Randy Orton was shown backstage. LA Knight walked into the frame. CM,
Especially when it comes time for November, man. Adam Pearce did a very admirable job at announcing War Games, but it ain't fucking William Regal. It ain't William Regal. Again, just spitballing, just throwing it out there. If it happens, it happens. You heard it here first. If not, I don't know what we do with Randy Orton. AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Kevin Owens, they all need matches. Right now, they don't really fit anywhere. We don't know. We don't know. Only time will tell. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was basically here to be the absolute babyface that WWE requires him to be. He was not here for any other reason but to really honor the tribute to the troops. That's all he did. He didn't say anything about Royal Rumble. He didn't say anything about Roman. He didn't say anything about CM Punk. He did later in the show because he and Punk actually crossed paths in the locker room. But this segment with Cody Rhodes didn't really do much of anything. Rhodes addressed the crowd and asked them what they wanted to talk about. I hate it. What do you want to talk about? No, I don't want to talk about anything, Cody. Shut up. Shut up. Rhodes says it's a special night, and that's why he asked to be there tonight. He said it was tribute to the troops. Rhodes says he's proud to be a part of the team carrying on this tradition for the last 23 years. Said he wanted to say thank you to the servicemen and women on behalf of WWE. Rhodes then threw it to a video package on the tribute to the troops, and that was basically it. Rhodes then introduced the drill team to do a demonstration. Great. Thanks for coming, Cody.
And then they give what?
Karrion Kross. He went one-on-one with Bobby Lashley. United States Championship Tournament first round match. Again, the match was just there. Nothing really surprising here. This match was never in doubt. Nobody really expected Karrion Kross to beat Bobby Lashley tonight in the first round of this tournament. But I don't know what they're doing with Kross. I really don't. It's at a point right now where it's not even worth talking about. It's not even worth discussing. It's not worth coming up with what do they need to do? How do we fix it? I genuinely don't know. Nothing about, and I want to preface this by saying this means, and I mean no disrespect towards Kross at all. I'm a big Kross guy. I think Kross is great. I genuinely feel with what Karrion Kross has had to go through, that it largely is not his fault. Vince McMahon and his administration, when Karrion Kross was on NXT and he was doing his thing, there was a lot of hype around what he was doing on NXT, this big guy, the entrance, and this and that. As soon as Karrion Kross got called up to the main roster, he was the NXT champion, and that one fabled night where he came out looking like some fucking sex addict dominatrix fucking freak. I don't know what the fuck they thought was gonna happen.
Come on.
Every time I had to move to the back of that bus. That came out without the smoke and mirrors and all this other shit that Triple H worked so hard to perfectly craft. They took it all away from him. And as the NXT champion on his first night on Monday Night Raw, he loses to Jeff Hardy in 3 minutes. Not even 3 minutes. It might have went 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Might have went 90 seconds. That's what we do with all the work and the progress that NXT and the team down there and Triple H put into this new performer that they wanted to get over so bad. Kross can talk. Kross can work. Kross has got the look. Kross has got the manager and Scarlett, his wife. I mean, what else the fuck? What else do you require from him? What else? It worked down there. Why didn't you want to have it work up on the main roster? It's because Vince and Bruce wanted to kill everything that NXT was in that iteration of NXT. Oh no, my son-in-law's a part of that. Let's kill it. Yeah, I'm tired of these fucking indie guys and him thinking he knows better. Just kill it. Bring him up, kill him, goodbye. It's exactly what happened. From that moment on, Kross never, ever, 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 ever recovered. He eventually got fired. They brought him back. They thought that, picking up the pieces. Let's do what we did before Vince buried you to Jeff Hardy. Let's go and do what we did before Bruce Pritchard fucking wanted to put some dominatrix mask on you. It was never going to be the same. His feud with Drew McIntyre looked to be a little promising. And then after that, he started calling out the world champion. He wanted Roman Reigns. His mission statement was the World Heavyweight Championship, but Kross doesn't really fit anywhere into any of those plans. And he sat and he sat and he sat and did nothing. He did nothing. And now we come to December 8th, and Karrion Kross is losing in a very predictable first-round match to the much-over babyface in Bobby Lashley. What do we do with Kross?
Exactly.
What do we do with Kross? I feel like we need to go back to the drawing board with Karrion Kross. I feel like we need a new Karrion Kross. I feel like we need something different from Karrion Kross. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go away for a little bit. I think he needs to go back and reinvent himself a little bit. Because whatever the fuck he's doing right now, it is a shell of what it used to be, and it's not resonating with the fans.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It was great for when we got it. But after Vince killed it, it never looked and felt the same.
Exactly.
And maybe Triple H is starting to feel that way. I don't even know why he had to be in this tournament, to be quite honest with you. I don't know why Karrion Kross needed to lose to Bobby Lashley in 7 fucking minutes. What does that prove? It only proves everything that I just talked about. Bobby Lashley wins fairly easily here.
Yeah. I do feel bad for Karrion Kross. As soon as Vince McMahon, as soon as he was buried 2 years ago, Vince, Bruce, John Laurinaitis, as soon as they called him up, no smoke, no Scarlet, no entrance, loses to Jeff Hardy in 92nd, he lost the NXT title, and then he came out with that ridiculous, stupid fucking mask. And then he was pretty much a joke. Then he got released, then he comes back, Triple H tried to reinvent him. They tried, he had a feud with Drew McIntyre, he wrestled Rey Mysterio, and then he feuded with AJ Styles for a bit. And then since then, he's been on TV. He's been doing dark matches. He did house shows with Bobby Lashley. I think a few weeks ago. But since then, he hasn't done anything. Hopefully during WrestleMania he does something. Hopefully he's in the Rumble and he does something. But man, we gotta do something with Karen Quad. Give him a big feud. Have him in the mid card or something. I don't know. Do something with Karen Quad and get him over.
We go to a picture-in-picture promo during, and that was it for Bobby Lashley. He beats Karrion Kross in about 7 minutes. He will face Santos Escobar in the next round of the United States Championship tournament. I don't know. Now, who wins the match next week? Santos is riding high on his new heel turn. He absolutely cannot lose. Bobby Lashley is as hot as they come in the last few weeks. He can't lose. I don't know what we do here, does Rey Mysterio cost Santos Escobar next week? I know Rey Mysterio is going to be in the corner of Dragon Lee on Saturday's NXT Deadline show, so maybe he's good enough to be on SmackDown next week and cost Santos the match against Bobby Lashley. Or maybe Santos reveals that he's got a new legado del Fantasma, and they help him beat Bobby Lashley, which sets up a new legado versus the Hurt Business. I don't know. WWE seemingly has booked themselves into a corner with this match. Neither man can lose next week. Very interesting to see how they get out of that creative situation. Damage Control. They were shown backstage. Asuka.
Good matches for next week. That Smackdown tribute to the troops 2023. There you go. Let's take a look at the poll. I will call this the CM Punk commemorative poll because that's the only reason this show got 88.4% thumbs up. But this show is running just shy of 90% thumbs up so far, 88.4 and then 11.6% thumbs down. I can neither confirm nor deny that most of those thumbs down are coming from IP addresses in Rancho Cucamonga, California. I have no comment on that. Hey, Barry MK, you have been fined by Brian Daniels. You've been fined $5 for that super chat.
Just Alex. Unseen. CM Punk and Kevin Owens were fun. They said it wasn't for the show, but it might have been backstage. Kevin Owens and CM Punk. Unseen. It might have been probably in SmackDown regular. It might have been SmackDown.
Just so he can have enough time to talk. And it was Bobby Lashley carrying Cross. Guess who won this match? Bobby Lashley is world champion contender for me. I don't think in my opinion, I don't think he should be going after the mid-card title right now. He should be going after Roman Reigns. That's where he should be. And people like Karrion Kross should be competing for this belt. And to see Karrion Kross lose, it bothers me. Not because I understand why you don't want to push him right now. Because Karrion Kross he's so damaged. It's kind of at the point now where you have to start all the way back over with him. And for you to do that, you need time and you need space and you need people for him to feed. There isn't anybody for him to be fed right now. There isn't. Because everybody that's involved that could be fed to him is involved in something. Who's he going to be? For him to be able to do what he's doing, they would have to literally start feeding him just regular local jobbers again. And I don't know if that's the time or this is the time to be.
I want to see that tag team so bad. Can't wait to watch that match back. But some more chats here.
It's the amazing.
All, or is it going to be SmackDown? He says he's going to leave it up to the crowd, partly up to the crowd. I wouldn't leave anything up to these fucking people. He He's on Friday Night SmackDown. Why would they cheer for him going to Raw? Doesn't really make sense, and it's not really a good gauge where he should really land. We all know he's not going to SmackDown. We all know that his future has Seth Rollins in it, and Seth Rollins is the World Heavyweight Champion on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins is the World Heavyweight Champion. He's already made many statements about CM Punk. You see where they're going. And I don't know if you guys picked CM Punk. He walked down the aisle. He looked at a fan holding a replica World Heavyweight Championship, the same one that Rollins has. He rubbed it, looked at it, and gave a wink into the camera during his ring entrance. Yes, folks, he's signing with Raw, and he's going after Seth Rollins. Everybody else is a distant future for CM Punk. Punk asked if the fans want to see him on SmackDown. Of course, they cheered. Punk asked the crowd if they want him to win the Royal Rumble and point to a sign and main event WrestleMania. The crowd cheered. Punk said that an old friend of his likes to come out and ask the crowd what they want to talk about. An old friend, huh? CM Punk putting all those conspiracy theorists to bed with that statement. Now, is it a possibility that at the time, Cody Rhodes left AEW to join WWE 2 years ago because of Tony Khan bringing in CM Punk, paying CM Punk more, giving Punk more power backstage, preferential treatment to CM Punk? Cody had his creative freedom taken away from him. Tony Khan was listening to Cody less. Cody was not really being featured as prominently as he was. The new toy in Tony Khan's toy chest was CM Punk, and Cody didn't like that. Is there truth to that? Potentially. We'll never know. We'll never really know. But I think a lot of people really drummed up the discussion, me included, Andrew Baydala, Drew, on Tuesday nights. We talked about it as potential. We talked about everything regarding Punk and Cody Rhodes. That Cody left AEW. One of the primary reasons why Cody left AEW was not only for himself, not only for honoring his father, wanting to win the championship, win the WWF title, WWE title, the Winged Eagle coming back, WrestleMania main event, beating Roman, all that shit, was because of CM Punk. And now that CM Punk is back in WWE, CM Punk mentioned an old friend in Cody Rhodes, potentially putting all those conspiracy theorists to bed with that one. Still makes for a great discussion. Cody had his reasons, but it was definitely more than I need to finish my story. I think we all know that. But we'll never find that out. An old friend. He mentions Cody Rhodes. He said he's heard a lot of people don't like the happy CM Punk that's happy to be home. Punk says he's going to turn it up to 11 and be the spicy Punk everyone loves. Good. The Punk that we should have got after 10 years on WWE television. Punk asked the crowd who they want him to talk about. Punk asked about Rhodes and says he could tell stories. Punk asks if they want him to talk about someone who's never here. Punk mentioned Roman Reigns. Punk said he acknowledges Roman Reigns and congratulated Roman Reigns on his success. Punk said that he was the original Paul Heyman guy and he was Punk's wise man first. So again, playing up the rumors that we are eventually going to get Punk and Roman. And I predicted that we get Punk and Roman, not at WrestleMania, not anytime soon, but at SummerSlam versus Roman, with Roman going babyface, Punk going heel, and Heyman joining CM Punk. This is the second time Heyman has been teased in correlation with CM Punk. He mentioned the wise man in his first promo, and he mentioned the wise man, this time by name, Paul Heyman, in his second promo. The Summer of Punk 2024. SummerSlam, book it. Or If it doesn't happen at SummerSlam, maybe WWE wants to get WrestleMania 41 out of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. It may be a little too long to do WrestleMania 41. We don't know where Roman's going to be. We don't know how Roman's schedule is going to look. He may actually have a lesser schedule than he does now. And CM Punk, we don't know if he's going to remain healthy. We don't know if he's going to get fired. We don't know anything. He's a ticking time bomb. Punk could be injured tomorrow. He's 45 years old and he's had a pectoral muscle, I believe, torn, and he broke his foot. 2 injuries coming out of AEW. Is he going to remain healthy? I don't know. I don't know. But yes, Punk and Roman is definitely in the works. Not now, later, much later. So he said, Roman Reigns, that Paul Heyman was his wise man first. Punk said, well, Reigns isn't here, but his cousins are. Punk says he doesn't know Solo Sikoa, but he does know Jimmy Uso. Punk gave a shout out to Jey Uso, who's on Raw. Punk says he has to weigh whether or not he wants to hang out with Jey on Raw or fight Jimmy on Smackdown. Yeet. He wants to be on the bus with Jimmy and Cody, lighting it up, I'll tell you that. I thought Punk was straight edge. Hang around Cody and Jey Uso, you ain't going to be straight edge anymore. Punk said he would need to back up to tussle with Jimmy. Punk asked if he could trust Randy Orton. He said that LA Knight would want to team with him. He let the fans chant LA Knight, yeah. Then he brought up Kevin Owens. He brings up Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was there tonight. Punk brought up Kevin Owens and said Owens is a little prickly. I could fight Kevin Owens. I could tag with Kevin Owens. They're somewhat alike. Punk says that he doesn't know if he could tag with someone who randomly punches people backstage. He says it's 2023 and you just can't do things like that anymore. And then he smirks into the camera. That was a very apparent shot at what he did backstage to the elites and many others in All Elite Wrestling. And he didn't really mention AEW, Tony Khan, the Bucks, the elites. He didn't mention anybody by name. So he kind of became a prick in himself while calling Kevin Owens a prick, and kind of went all the way around to make it about Kevin Owens punching people in the face, but then kind of make a really indirect, but we all knew who he was talking about, direct comment about his backstage antics in AEW. Now, the crowd couldn't have given 2 fucking shits about this comment. The casual crowd, wherever they were tonight, Rhode Island, they didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. And the crowd went mild. What happens when you got a casual fucking crowd in the middle of Rhode Island in December? This is my advice to whoever is handing CM Punk bullet points from this point on. I don't think we need to mention anything about AEW indirectly anymore, or taking these very, very lowbrow, humorous shots at the elite. It's over. It's over. You're here, they're there, it's over. We're moving on. Just give us the CM Punk that we love. There's much more ammunition with what's going on here that people care about than what happened 2 fucking years ago in AEW. Nobody cares. Let's cut the shit. Let's cut this out of future bullet points and future promos. Nobody wants to hear about it anymore. The only people that are going to fucking react to this type of comments in a promo are fans in Chicago or fans in New York or fucking geeks who watch AEW weekly who don't want to sit there and admit that there is problems with their favorite show. Those are the people that are going to react. That's it. Victory laps. Yeah, we don't need victory laps. We don't need, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to make friends. No, we don't need none of this shit. Let's cut that shit out.
Thank you.
Everything about this promo but this was perfect. We don't need it.
Yeah.
So, Punk said everyone is happy to see him, even JBL. He said everyone is happy to see him except for one guy. Punk says he won't put any stock into anything he has to say because he's not even the man in his own household. This man is so fucking petty that he didn't even want to acknowledge. He acknowledged Roman Reigns before he acknowledged anything that Seth Rollins has said in regards to himself. Rollins cursed him out at Survivor Series. Rollins mentioned him last week. Rollins went on Sports Illustrated and mentioned things about Punk. Rollins is making the rounds, showing everybody that he's bothered about CM Punk being back, and Punk hasn't said a fucking word about Seth Rollins and what he said at all in the last 2 weeks. Boom. Gotta love it. Then the crowd started singing Seth Rollins' song. They started doing the whoa. They started singing, and then Punk listens to the crowd and says, yeah, sing his song. The song is the only thing Seth Rollins has. He didn't mention him by name, but he said, it's the only thing that he has. Man, not only are you the cock in your household, but that's the only thing that makes Seth Rollins who he is, his song. Oh my goodness, man. This is going to be a feud of epic proportions. On the microphone, I can't wait to see these guys in the ring together. Punk says he's glad to be back home, and everyone will find out where he'll sign on Raw. He mentioned he's going to listen to Nick Aldis. He's got a phone call with Shawn Michaels. He's not going to NXT. CM Punk is not going to NXT. Okay? And Adam Pearce,
So
he says he's going to make a decision on Monday. Now, being that Rhode Island and Bridgeport, Connecticut, not really that far of a trip. Maybe Punk shows up on the PLE tomorrow night. Maybe they show him backstage sitting down with Shawn Michaels. I have no fucking idea. Maybe we get that just to kind of play up what he said here, but he ain't going to NXT. Punk said that every man he mentioned has one thing in common. He said that he's back and he'll be the monkey wrench in their plans. It's like, all right, Phil, you listening to OTS, bro. I said that same thing last week. Man. Gotta love it. I smiled when he said that. Be that wrench. Fuck the system. Can't wait. Punk said that on Monday. He'll put pen to paper and start his journey and finish his story. Punk says he's going to WrestleMania and will be in the main event of WrestleMania. Now, Punk didn't really say he's entering the Royal Rumble. I guess he wants to leave that open for interpretation. But I do feel that with CM Punk telling you, I'm going to WrestleMania, I'm going to be in the main event of WrestleMania. There's only two ways to get to the main event of WrestleMania. That's either win the Royal Rumble or win the Elimination Chamber. And I predicted CM Punk is a heavy favorite to win the Royal Rumble. I would not be opposed to CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. Now, I know it all depends on if WWE's got Stone Cold Steve Austin versus CM Punk in their pocket for WrestleMania. We need to know that before the Royal Rumble. Because it's either going to be Cody or CM Punk. CM Punk wins the Rumble, Cody wins the Chamber. Does Cody win the Rumble and Punk gets Steve Austin? I don't know. And if that's the case, if Punk gets Austin, then it's going to be Cody and Gunther. Gunther wins the Rumble, Cody wins the Chamber. If it's Austin and Punk, that's what we're getting. But if we don't have Steve Austin, Cody wins the Chamber, Punk wins the Royal Rumble. Because I don't want to see CM Punk in the Royal Rumble with Cody and have Cody go over. I don't want to see that. I would rather Punk win the Rumble and Cody win the Chamber. I don't want to see Cody win 2 Royal Rumbles. But we don't really know what's happening with Stone Cold. It's all hearsay right now. It's all rumor and innuendo. We don't really know. Everybody apparently wants this dream match to happen. It was a dream match fucking 15 years ago. 60-year-old CM Punk, I get it. The promos itself would be fucking unbelievable. But I'm not really putting much stock in a CM Punk and Stone Cold Steve Austin match at WrestleMania 4. But who knows? Who knows what Endeavor has planned? They may want to make this the biggest WrestleMania in the history of WrestleMania. And you do that by putting that match on the show. If it happens, you do it. If it's possible, you do it. But it's not my first choice. And I know I'm not alone in that. I would rather see Punk and Rollins at WrestleMania. That's just me. I thought this was a great promo. This was the mission statement that he needed. This is the mission statement that he should have gave us on Monday last week. I felt like WWE could not have Punk go out there and make it feel or sound any worse than what he did in his first return promo after the Survivor Series. They nailed everything tonight. Everything. They gave him time. He addressed Roman Reigns. He addressed Seth Rollins without mentioning his name. He mentioned Kevin Owens. He mentioned Randy Orton. He mentioned WrestleMania. He indirectly mentioned the Royal Rumble. He says he's going to main event WrestleMania. These are the reasons why he's back. I don't understand why they didn't allot time for him to go out there on night 1 and do it on the first night back after 10 years, and why we had to wait till tonight. I don't get it. You might not think it's a big deal, and in the grand scheme of things, it's not, because we got it tonight. But I tell you what, man, this was not a first impression, but my God, after his exit from the company and him being back when nobody predicted him to be back ever again, the first time in 10 years, that's the promo he cut. Everything that he said tonight should have been the mission statement as to why you are back in this company for the first time in 10 years after everything you did and everything you said. We got it tonight, so we can't complain too much. But things have to be done right. What they did last week to him was not right. What they did tonight was perfect. It was perfect promo. You couldn't ask for a better promo. His mission statement covered everything. And it's going to be interesting to see where this promo takes him into the following weeks. He's going to have a face-to-face with Rollins eventually. I think people are now more excited about that than ever before. Unbelievable stuff here. This was unbelievably just fucking top-notch, so much better than his Monday Night Raw promo. Did a great job of setting everything up, that he gave a glimpse into everything and everyone that he's going to work with. Where was this on Monday night last week? Guess it's never too late, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into the rest of the show. We have Charlotte versus Asuka, and then we have the main event to get into. But I want to thank you guys very much for joining me here on Off the Script. We got 2,700 in here right now. We got 867 likes. We need 1,000 likes is the goal tonight for the Smackdown post right here on Off the Script. Tonight, sponsored by my great friends over at DraftKings. We got a very special promo for you guys to take a part in this weekend, man. We're nearing the end of the NFL season. Make sure you get in with my sponsor tonight, DraftKings, right here on Off the Script. Guys, the weather might be cooling down, but the action on the field.
Well, hold on. Cody Paul may CM Punk Paul may have booted Cody Rhodes. Did Punk Cody does boot? Cody CM Punk Paul may have booted Cody Rhodes from night 2 main event WrestleMania. Yeah. Oh wait, it says something. Well, might as well just end the video. Oh wait. Oh yeah, there's CM Punk and Kevin Owens. I think that was backstage. I don't think that was shown. We got lastly the True Pop show us that the U.S. Army drill team. Hold on. Yeah. Dominic came on coffee, man. Okay. Oh, it wasn't the show. I don't think I saw that. Either way, it was a very good show. I think I will end the video. I made the video long enough. It is 12 o'clock. Might as well just end the video. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. I went through Smackdown. I went through the news and rumors. Tomorrow night, I think I will do an NXT deadline. The NXT deadline is tomorrow. The pre-show at 7, and the main show will start at 8 o'clock. So I think I will do a review on the show. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, until that time, this is Mr. Black Hammer 2021. Thank you for watching. And hold up. Alright.
What?
Wait, hold on. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Might well end the video. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more.